Hello friends, welcome to my second anniversary Q&A video thing. I did one last year, so I thought it was appropriate to do one this year. So in 2022, August 3rd, I made my Maze on Ikoku video, and that was kind of a soft reboot of my channel in a way. It was pretty much the start of this structure of videos that I make all the time now, pretty much once a month. And I've pretty much stuck with it. It's a structure that I'm going to keep. It's a format and style that I want to keep for the foreseeable future. And that was when it started. So I thought it'd be fun to do another Q&A. I asked on YouTube, a bunch of people put in questions, yada, yada, yada. Even on Twitter, a bunch of people put in questions. So I'm going to try to be concise and answer them concisely, but I tend to ramble. This video is not scripted. The one I did last year was a little bit more scripted than this, but this is totally off the cuff. I thought I'd want it to be as raw as possible. This is just my impressions. Yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm going to save any kind of, talking about the channel until after the Q&A. So I'm just going to read these questions and get answering them. Some of them are pretty broad. Some of them are pretty loaded questions, but I like loaded questions. I'm going to try to keep it concise. I'm going to try to be a good kid and do this correctly. So let's get into it. All right. So first question: what is the best advice / software for someone who is wanting to get into digital art? Okay, so the easy answer is probably like Clip Studio or Photoshop or something. But honestly, I always say that you should start small and kind of work up to software like that. When I was getting into digital art, I had a really dinky tablet laptop with Windows Tablet Edition from 2000. It was really old and bad, and the only software I could use on that thing was a Windows note-taking software, and it really limited me, but it helped me really understand my niche when it came to digital art, how I create digital art, what I like to do with digital art. I think if you're given too many tools at once, it can feel a little intimidating. Paint tool size is pretty simple, and I still use that to do my line art pretty much exclusively still. So that could be worth looking into. It's worth trying not to get too intimidated. I think that's a big part of it. It can just feel really daunting, and especially if you draw in a certain style, if you're a cartoonist or something, sometimes having too many tools can just be tough because, I think we're bred to actually be using pen and paper, which is very limiting in some ways. You just have the pen and the paper. But when you're given every tool under the sun, it can be pretty intense. So my suggestion is to start small and work your way up to other bigger software, if that makes sense. Hope that answered the question. Good question, though. Next question. I enjoy seeing your avatar modded into games. Can you go into detail on how you make them? That is also a pretty good question, but I don't really have a great answer for this because it's a different process for every mod. Sometimes it's as easy as just editing a sprite sheet, and Mario 64 one was as difficult as 3D modeling something and figuring out the game's code a little bit to change the actor or whatever. It was pretty crazy. I would recommend looking up tutorials on whatever you want to do. There's a lot of good tutorials on how to mod things into Mario 64 or Mario World or whatever game you wanted to do. Personally, they were just kind of little creative ADHD-fueled endeavors that I just was really into for 12 hours. So, yeah, it's fun. It's very fulfilling, and they're fun little creative projects to get into, but I would just look up tutorials and stuff. That's usually how I always start, too. Helps me understand. I can look up tutorial, see how somebody does it, and be like, yeah, I can do that. So when do you decide to scrap a video? Is there a certain amount of progress where it is safe to scrap, or do you just buckle down and complete? Do you just keep your progress and finish at a later time? I'd really like to know your philosophy with the matter, because this is something I've been struggling with my recent start into content creation. Okay, this is a real loaded question. I'm a pretty big believer in the sunk cost, I want to call it fallacy, but the sunk cost ideology, where if I don't want to scrap something if I'm too far in, because time is money to me. Time is important. I have a lot of things I want to do, and video creation is already pretty difficult time-wise for me to get done. So I got to make sure that whatever ideas that I think work will work. And even if I'm not super satisfied with a script, so basically I start with a script, and then I voice it over, I brainstorm, write a script down, you know, voice it over. Usually the process in which I would scrap something is the script. Like if I'm writing the script and I'm not feeling it, I'll just be like, this isn't worth it, this isn't a good idea. Or I'll finish the script, read it over kind of to myself, sort of voice it to myself and be like, nah, this just isn't working. You know, I have a lot of things I want to do with my videos, things I kind of want to convey, or, you know, a sort of vibe I want to give off. And sometimes the videos just don't do that. So I try not to get too far. If I do get farther, like I voice it, and I'm decently satisfied with it, and I start editing it, and I don't like certain elements of it, I will just work around it. I will edit it. I will, you know, add things if I need to, change things if I need to, change ideas if I need to. I will make it work pretty much. And that won't work for everybody. It's a personal thing, I think. I think some people find it better to just scrap ideas if they aren't satisfied with it. But for me, in my YouTube channel, the way I conduct my YouTube channel, I think the healthiest way to do it is the way I do it. Yeah, I try not to get too far into it. That's what I'm trying to say. I try not to get too far before I scrap it. And there are ideas that I've had that I finish later, but if I'm being honest, pretty rarely do I do that. Maybe I'll take elements from things that I had an idea for and put them into videos later, but like, if it didn't work, it didn't work, and forcing it to try to work, or really, you know, like being like, no, I gotta make this video, it never ends up working. It's always the same result happens. So it's fate that some of these video ideas just aren't meant to be. So hopefully that answered the question. I know that was kind of rambly. Next question: what is a video game that everyone likes that you despise? I get this question asked a lot. And I never know the answer, but I do have, it's not a video game, but it is something a game that a lot of people enjoy that I don't enjoy, and that's Dungeons and Dragons. I have tried to play D&D so many times, and I want to like it so bad, and I just never can. I don't know why. I think it's just my attention span is just shot these days, and something like D&D just doesn't work for my brain anymore. But it, like, on paper sounds like something that would be really, really fun. But every time I try it, I get really bored real fast. And it's a shame because I want to like it, and I know everyone loves it. A lot of people love it. But, like, I just don't feel comfortable joining campaigns or anything anymore because it's just like, I'm probably just going to end up not coming, or it's going to feel like work, and I don't want that. So, yeah, I know it's not a video game, but I feel like I answered this question last time when it came to video games, so that's something more interesting. Which Animal Crossing game have you played, if any, and have you played more than one? How would you rank them? So I love Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is one of my favorite video game series of all time, and Wild World is probably one of my favorite games of all time. That being said, ranking them is extremely difficult, and I think anybody who can just blatantly rank them is, maybe personally that's fine, but in terms of like objective quality, it's so difficult because every Animal Crossing game has such a unique sense of flavor that is so unique to them. And like, if somebody told me that the original Animal Crossing was their favorite and the best one in their head, there's no way I would argue that. That one is so much different than the others that, like, it would make so much sense if that one was somebody's favorite. My favorite is Wild World, and I think my least favorite is City Folk, because I think City Folk is just Wild World again, but on the Wii, and I don't like controlling the Wii. So it's kind of funny that my favorite and my least favorite, like, basically the same game. The only other Animal Crossing opinion I'm going to put here is I think New Horizons is kind of over-criticized, and I think it's really good, and there's a lot of good things about it that I think a lot of people look over just because people got bored of it, but that's, like, the nature of every Animal Crossing game, so I don't know. That game was a weird experience, but it was good. Anyway, I love Animal Crossing. Thanks for the question. Interesting. I didn't realize this was going to be a question. Next question. Do you play D&D? And if so, what characters have you played? Like I was just saying, I don't really like D&D very much, but I have played it, and I do really like the characters I made for it. I'll probably put drawings of them on screen, but I have two characters that I play. I play a aberration girl named Dee. She's like a one-eyed aberration girl, and she's awesome. She's so fun to play. She's kind of like moody and stupid and funny. It's good. And then I have another satyr girl. I think her name changes a few times, but I think her name was Calliope at one point. She plays the accordion, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. She's fun too. She's cute. I like playing cute, weird characters with weird quirks to them. But yeah, I love those characters. I tend to just... I've played multiple, maybe like almost double-digit campaigns in my life, and I tend to always try to default back, especially Dee. She's like my D&D character. She's the one that I like to play almost exclusively, so I feel like it's really easy to play the same character in D&D, but just like mix up the backstory, maybe change their class. So I tend to have like a main character for my campaigns or whenever I'm a player, you know. What is something that is objectively bad or flawed that you love anyway? This question is so difficult. I feel like I've been asked this before, and I feel like maybe it's just me that I don't love objectively flawed things a lot. Like, there are things that are like, yeah, there's a lot of flaws with this, but I still enjoy it, whatever. But I feel like most things that I enjoy are, like, good. Like, genuinely good. I really don't know. I was thinking about this question earlier, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, you know, okay, here's one little game that's pretty flawed, but I love to death, and a lot of people have criticisms for it. The original Shantae game, I love so much. I love that game so much. I want to make a video about that game, but it is pretty frustrating and flawed, maybe compared to some of the other Shantae games, but it is my favorite Shantae game by a long shot. Like, it is my favorite by a huge margin, and I don't know why. I feel like the others just don't ever capture that charm that the original Shantae game captured for me. I don't know. Something about that game. I love that game. Maybe and it's pretty flawed, so maybe that's the good answer. All right, next question. What is a YouTube channel that you like or has inspired you with your own videos? There's so many. I mean, there's so many like good YouTube channels out there. In terms of inspirations or got me invested in making video content, I would say Action Button Game Reviews, Tim Rogers. He makes some amazing videos, some of the best videos on this whole entire platform that have to do with video games. And he really inspired me, I think, to make videos more with a personal touch to them rather than just cold, you know, reviews. I try to make all my videos have a sense of like personality to them, you know, or personal touch, I guess, have a personal connection to whatever I'm talking about. I don't know. There's Defunct Land is one of the best YouTubers in my opinion, and he makes some really amazing documentary style videos, has a really good sense of humor. Just people that really, when I watch their videos, I'm like, man, I gotta make a video soon, you know, like something like, I just want to get back into it. I don't think there's any YouTubers that truly inspired my format or anything. I think it's just a amalgamation of what I've seen and what I've liked with certain YouTubers and stuff, so I don't really have specifics, but those two YouTube channels are probably my favorites on the platform right now. So yeah, watch them, they're really good. All right, next question. What's your thought process when you make a video? Like, how do you think of what to make and how do you go about doing it? Well, I've kind of mentioned my process before. I basically just figure out a topic, write a script, voice it, edit it, yada, yada, yada. When it comes to how I come up with the ideas, I'll be honest, they're kind of just like shower thoughts. Like, they're just kind of like come out of nowhere. Sometimes they're based on conversations I have with friends, like things we were discussing, like video game opinions we're discussing or something. They're all over the place. I feel like a lot of the ideas are just ideas that I've had for a while, or just opinions that I've had, or something specific. You know, some of them come out more naturally, or I guess, you know, more in the moment, like the Sonic Dream Team review. It just came after I played that game, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. This is an interesting game. Or, you know, my Final Fantasy 14 video, it just came out of me because I was struggling to figure out a video to make, and I was playing Final Fantasy 14, and it was on my mind a lot, and I was like, you know, I could talk about this game. I probably have something interesting to say about it. So they come pretty naturally. I don't try to overthink it. It's just whatever comes to me. I think if I was more pigeonholed, like if I had to make only videos about SpongeBob or cartoons or video games or Lego or something, I would be way more... I'd have probably more to say about this. I'd probably be like, oh, I go out of my way to find this topic or something. But no, I have so many ideas of specific topics I can talk about that they just come to me, you know, shower thoughts. I'm in the shower, I'm like, hey, this would make a good video, and, you know, I start writing it down. Very boring answer. I'm not the most interesting video topic creator. This person said, I would love to ask the forbidden question, but fate shall tempt me away. Like I said, you'd be made fun of if you asked the forbidden question in this video. My big question is, where do you find most of the goodies you show off in your videos? Things like the SpongeBob TV and your games in general. I've been collecting this junk for like 2 decades now. So a lot of it is just accumulated over the years. But the SpongeBob TV and probably a lot of the stuff I show nowadays, the newer stuff that I buy, all come from thrifting. I thrift pretty much everything nowadays. And it's tough, and it takes a lot of time and effort to find good things. But if you keep your mind open and you keep your eyes peeled, you can find some cool stuff. That SpongeBob TV, I found at a thrift store for $10, sitting on the fucking table, you know, right next to all the other doofuses on their phone, eBay searching every video game. But some of those people just don't know what something like that is worth, and it was so exciting to see. So yeah, I have a lot of hobbies. You know, I collect VHS tapes, I collect fucking, I don't know, figures and plushies and everything. So it's fun. Thrifting, if you keep your mind open and you're looking out for whatever you can find, thrifting is usually a good way to find this stuff. I really just don't have the money to spend, like, just spend on things anymore. So I kind of have to be sort of smart and clever about how I spend money. So, you know, it's just an easy way to not have to spend a lot of money, you know, yard sales, blah, 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 all that stuff. Don't buy stuff on eBay. It's a scam most of the time, unless you find a really good deal, but it's hard to find deals on eBay these days. So thrifting, that's my answer. Most of the stuff, especially the SpongeBob TV, I got from thrifting. So go to thrift stores, go to your local Goodwill, beat the resellers, try to beat the resellers to the cool stuff. What is your favorite Little Debbie food? Oh man, I don't even know. What is I get Little Debbie and like other like Entenmann's confused. Little Debbie snacks. Let's see, what's my favorite Little Debbie food? Oh, 100%. Well, oh, they're all good. Okay, Nutty Buddies are amazing. Nutty Buddies are easily my favorite. Cosmic Brownies are really good too, and the Honey Buns are good. But the Honey Buns you can get anywhere. I feel like the Nutty Buddies are very specifically Little Debbie products that are so good. I love those things. Yeah, we'll go with the Nutty Buddies. Nutty Buddies are the best. They're so satisfying to eat. Do you like Marmite / Vegemite? Am I allowed to like those things? I'm American. I don't know. Probably not. I'm gonna go with no. But I haven't had it. But I have a feeling I wouldn't like it, and I feel like that would be appropriate, because isn't it like the funny thing for an American to eat that, and all the British and Australian people to like point and laugh at them? I'm sure I wouldn't like it. I have a feeling I wouldn't like it. How many whole pizza? Oh my god! How many whole pizzas can you eat at one time? Probably one. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest, like, oh, I'm a monster, I can eat as much as I want. I do eat. When I eat, I sometimes overeat sometimes. But a pizza, comfortably one pizza, I'd say, probably. My stomach might hurt after it. But like a Domino's pizza, I could kill a Domino's pizza easily. Maybe a bigger, large, like, you know, local pizza, like a 16-inch or 17-inch pizza. Yeah, maybe I'll get halfway and save the rest for later, but I'm not even gonna humor this with like a funny, like, I could eat 100 pizzas. I might be able to eat a whole pizza if I really tried. Do you like Garfield? I know this is from Big Garf Fan 37, so I'll be nice. Garfield's cute. I like Garfield. Now to be a little bit more critical. The actual strips, though, they're pretty bad. It's weird. Genuinely, this is an interesting question, because I think comic strip critique is not usually common, but when it comes to Garfield, I think the jokes are too pigeonholed. They're not about the characters. They're about, well, they are about the characters, but they're about the very specific traits of those characters rather than just letting the characters do their thing. Like comparing that to Peanuts, you know, Linus is not one joke. Linus is not just his blanket joke. He is everything that accompanies his personality. But like Garfield is just lazy and fat, and that is like 90% of the jokes they tell in that comic. And I'll be honest, if you go to like, what is it, Go Comics or whatever? Is it Go Comic or something? No, GoComics.com. Go to GoComics.com. Go to the Garfield section, press random comic. I guarantee it will be aggressively unfunny. It will be just impossibly unfunny. Garfield's lame. Garfield's comic is lame, but his character is cute, and I like his cartoon, and I like him in Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2, so, you know. Have you bought any cool gaming stuff recently? I'm always buying cool gaming stuff. I will say, yesterday I bought Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, which is like the new banana... Oh my god, the new Super Monkey Ball game. The new banana game, yeah. The new Super Monkey Ball game. And I've been playing that a little bit, and it's really fun. It's really good. It's just cool to have like a new Monkey Ball game. I did buy this... Where'd it go? I did buy this plushie of Goombella from Thousand Year Door, and it was like... It was like $1.50 on AliExpress, and it's probably bootleg and shitty, but it's kind of nice. I mean, it's definitely bootleg, but it's kind of nice. It's pretty nice quality. I'm kind of surprised. I'll probably put a picture up of it as something. It's nice. Surprised at how cheap it was. I guess not, because it's like Chinese-made bootleg, but whatever. Any games that you associate with a different season of the year, and if so, why? There's so many games I associate with times of the year. I'm such a nostalgic, memory-focused person that, like, games associated with certain times is so, like, important to me. One weird example, though, I'll give. One weird example is Thanksgiving time I associate heavily with the SpongeBob video games, like Battle for Bikini Bottom and the movie game and all that stuff. I associate those so heavily with Thanksgiving. I don't know why, but, like, every Thanksgiving I have this deep urge to play them, or at least just like start them up and mess around with them for the night or something, and it feels really good. There's just something about that time of year mixed with playing those games that just really put me back to being a kid again. I guess I was just really into them at the time or something, so yeah, it's just an interesting answer, but yeah, those are the games that I associate, I think, heaviest with a certain time of year. Do I have a favorite color? I like blues, so maybe probably like a muted purplish blue would probably be my favorite aesthetic color. I also really like pink these days. I really like pink aesthetics, so like especially like a light, you know, a light pink or like a muted sort of lighter pink. I love that stuff. Or like, what is that called? Like not rose gold. That's a different color, but you know what I mean. Like a rosy pink. And then I have some questions asked on Twitter, of all places. So I asked my Twitter followers to ask me questions. So let's see. What is your favorite game review / game retrospective video you've made? I don't make a lot of game reviews or game retrospectives anymore. The Peanuts video I'm still pretty proud of. That's a big retrospective of every Peanuts game. I know a lot of people were saying that that's how they got into my videos, which is super flattering. I'm still pretty proud of that video. It took a long time to make. But yeah, I don't really make just like game reviews anymore. It's not really my thing. I just don't really think I have a lot to say like that. If I do make a game review, it's kind of more, there's more to it than that, I like to think. So I'll say the Peanuts video though, sure. Do you have any essays you think you could have done better? None come to mind personally, only considering my point of view. But I just find it interesting, thank you. But yeah, every video I think I could do better, obviously. I feel like every time I upload a video, I watch it over and I'm like, dang, why didn't I say this? Or why didn't I do this? In terms of like aesthetics or production-wise that I wish I could have done better, I don't know. The Final Fantasy XIV video I just made, I planned a lot more machinima-esque little like acted parts, but I just couldn't be fucked to do it. You know, I was trying to get like organize a bunch of people at one point, and I was like, I have to literally go to like Limsa and like use the shout chat to like say like, who wants to be in my video? Like, I really didn't want to do that. So maybe that video could have been a little bit more interesting visually, but whatever. It looked fine, and I think I got a comfortable amount of B-roll that way, so it's totally fine. But yeah, every video, I feel like every single person, every artist will look at their art and be like, man, I should have done that, but it is what it is. In terms of art, who would you say your biggest influences are? It's a good question. I always say Charles Schultz. Charles Schultz is probably one of my biggest influences, if not my biggest influence with my art. I think I get a lot of influence from early SpongeBob in terms of writing and jokes and humor and everything. I feel like Periwinkle, my character for my comic, is kind of an amalgamation of like a bunch of characters, but a lot of SpongeBob is in her. So I feel like that I take a lot of inspiration from. 90s anime, I take like Rumiko Takahashi. I have taken a lot of inspiration in my art from her. Even if my art doesn't really look very anime anymore, I have taken a lot of, that was a big inspiration for my art, was those 90s mangas and animes from when I was getting into that, especially Rumiko Takahashi. So I guess those are some of them. Is your refrigerator running? He. Here, I won't do this, but I will just close your eyes and imagine that I drew a refrigerator with like arms and legs, like the dude from like Wallace and Gromit or whatever. Imagine I drew him like running towards you. Just imagine that, like running towards you at max speed. And that's like the joke is like, I'm like, ha, that's a good joke. But then like there's an actual refrigerator running towards you. Just close your eyes and imagine that. I don't have to draw it. I don't even have to draw it because I think your brain will do it better than I will. So there, that's the answer. Isn't that funny? Haha, I'm so creative. Okay, next question. What's a game, piece of media, YouTuber, whatever, that you feel like impacted your life more than anything else? Kind of similar to the question that was asked before. Peanuts is the most influential piece of media ever for me. It influenced my humor, my art, my everything, got me creative, got me understanding what being an artist is, I think. That is the biggest thing. Everything goes back to Peanuts. Every time I think about where I am as an artist and what I do as an artist and what I like as an artist, it always goes back to Peanuts. So Peanuts, Charles Schultz, Peanuts, comics, that's the answer. Is there a video game character that you relate to the most? I have no idea. Video game character I relate to the most? I don't know. There's not a lot of characters I like. I'm like, that's me. They act just like me. There probably is, but I can't think of one right now. I'll be honest. I'll think of a funny answer. Cream the Rabbit. She's basically me. She's just me. There's no difference. It's like looking at a mirror. It's just, you would never tell the difference. Favorite food? I don't know. I have no idea. I have been really into making pork katsu bowls recently, like just pork katsu on top of rice with egg and green onion or something. It is really good. It is super satisfying. Ever since I've been to Japan, I had a ton of katsu sandwiches and katsu bowls and everything when I was in Japan, and they were so good. They were so good. So I've been getting pretty good at making it, and it's pretty satisfying to eat. Just comfort food. Not great for you, but man, it's good. Put some like sushi sauce or teriyaki sauce on it, and maybe some Kewpie mayo over it. Oh, so good. Okay, last question. I saved the best for last. Will you ever reveal your gender? No. Okay, so thank you for the Q&A. That was a lot of fun. I like getting these questions. I like being able to connect with people who watch my videos. It feels very flattering. And just like last year, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a candid talk about the channel, what's going to be happening with the channel, updates, yada, yada, yada. I'll be completely honest, this year has been not great in terms of video creation in my head. I've struggled a lot with video topics. It's taken me a bit to make the ones that I have. I'm like behind on my goal of making a video once a month. All these little things. I have little projects I've tried that haven't really worked out, and that's totally fine. But I have had a burst of energy recently. I feel a little bit more inclined to make things and be productive. It's a slow process because June was really exhausting for me. I got really sick at one point. A few months before, July was really exhausting. June was also really exhausting, but July's been pretty exhausting. June was pretty exhausting. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot to handle for some reason. So hopefully as the rest of the year goes on, I will have a bit more energy, have a bit more creative energy. I guess I'm using the word energy a lot. But it should be better. I think I have ideas for videos. I think I have a little bit more gusto when it comes to it. So yeah, but it goes all over. Like, my art is also taking a hit because of it. It's just my productivity in general this year has been rough. But either way, one thing I do want to try to figure out is I want to make like smaller content for people. I want to be able to continue to give you guys stuff to watch or experience via me without having to watch my streams or anything, because I have been streaming more regularly right now. So, but I want people who are just invested in my YouTube videos or just want to watch my YouTube videos to have something to be engaged with. But I really don't think a lot of people engage with much beyond my scripted video essay videos. And not that nobody watched them, but, you know, I tried to make these kind of off-the-cuff show-and-tell videos where I'm just talking about stuff that I have. And I always liked videos like that, so I thought that'd be interesting. But I'll be honest, not a ton of people watched them. I mean, some people did. It's not like they have no views, but I could tell just the response wasn't as excited. People were just kind of like, yeah, okay, like a video. And I just kind of was like, these probably aren't worth doing. Like, you know, I don't really have, they're fine, but in terms of effort, you know, they take a little bit of effort to make. It just didn't seem like they were really received well. I have some videos that I've made that are more off the cuff. I have like tier list making videos where I've made a few tier lists of random stuff. And I was thinking about editing them down and making them kind of a fun little video, just to fill the void. But I just don't know if it's something that a lot of people will like. Like, I don't have to make other videos. I'm just kind of like, it was more for the viewers, the people who watch, to be like, oh, well, I don't want them to wait like once a month if they want content from me every time. And sometimes the content that I make isn't even probably adjacent to their interests. So I'm like, something more broad and easier to consume would be fun. But I don't know. I will ask you guys out there, if you're watching this and hear this, feel free to let me know if that's something that you would like to watch. If you like just hearing my voice and just like to listen to me talk about whatever, then let me know. Let me know if that would be an idea you think would be good. I did want to say, in the topic I just mentioned, I am extremely flattered with how many people engage with my videos despite the topics being so different from one another. So many people have said that they've watched my videos because of the SpongeBob video or the Lego video or the Peanuts video. And I have not made another SpongeBob related video or another Lego related video since then, but people always show up for my videos, and similar people comment on all my videos, and similar people I can tell are avid subscribers, and they really do watch all my content and love all my content for the most part. You know, I get a lot of nice comments, and that is so flattering because it's something that I think I'd be a hypocrite on. Like, I don't even think I would watch content of something that I'm not super interested in. If it's really, like, you know, if somebody made a video about D&D, for example, that came up in the Q&A, I probably wouldn't watch that video unless it was a YouTuber I really, really enjoy just listening to. But that's becoming rarer and rarer these days. So if that's truly how you feel about my content, if you are just willing to listen to me talk about anything, that is so flattering. It really is so flattering. And it's super cool that I can just make whatever I want and you guys will just consume it and enjoy it, I hope. I do want to say, I still don't make any money on this channel. I know I said this last year, and it still holds true this year. I haven't even gone through the second step to make money on this channel. So, like, you know, YouTube wants, like, my information, and then I can sign up for... just got a Discord message, sorry about that. YouTube wants me to, like, have... what's it called? YouTube wants me to, like, give them my information to start AdSense and stuff. I haven't even done that. They don't have any of my information. I don't want them to have any of my information. But it's really nice that I can still make these videos as a hobbyist and people can still consume them just as, like, you consume anybody's videos. You know, there's something nice about it. There's something nice that I can still continue to do this the way I'm doing it and people are satisfied. I always think I'm a little inadequate compared to other YouTubers, but I think part of my brain wants to care about that, but part of my brain is like, that is the stupidest thing in the world. You're not trying to compete with other YouTubers. You're not trying to feel better than other YouTubers. I'm just doing what I want to do, and it's a creative platform for me to do whatever I want to do, which is super, super fun, and I'm glad it's working out. But yeah, that being said, I don't have any plans to monetize my videos. I don't have any plans that way. But if you ever want to support me, I would just, like, look into supporting my webcomic or buying a commission from me, or, you know, giving me work in some capacity. I just don't really, this is a hobby for me and I want to continue it to be a hobby for me. I don't want it to be a job. So funding my actual job is the best way to do it for me. So if you ever want to support me, that's the way to support me. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say. I've said a lot of stuff last year in my anniversary video. It's pretty cool that I've been able to do this for 2 years, and it's always on my mind. You know, it's always a nice little thing to continue to do and find new avenues to be creative and fun with it. And I'm just going to keep doing it for as long as I can, I guess. I enjoy the format I have. I might mix it up a little bit, get creative with certain things. One thing you might notice in the next video, my background might change. The checkerboard thing, I might change that up a little bit. I've been thinking about doing something different, so who knows? There'll be little changes like that, but I think overall the format and the sort of look and feel of my videos isn't going to go anywhere. It's what I like to do, and it's comfortable now, and you know, same old. But again, once again, thank you guys so much for continuing to comment and support me and tell me how much you like my stuff and tell me how much you don't like my stuff and continue to ask for my gender and continue to harass people who... No, I'm kidding. No, it's great. I appreciate every comment, even the bad ones, even those stupid people. Engaging with my video keeps me focused on something, you know, keeps me doing something, keeps me alive in a way. So it's great. But yeah, until next time, I don't have a video planned right now, but I might try to edit one of those videos I was mentioning earlier. We'll see. But either way, I'm sure you'll hear from me soon enough. If you haven't, check out my Twitch channel. I've been streaming 3 days a week right now, and I'm trying to do it consistently, just playing random games. I'm playing through the Mario and Luigi games right now. I was playing Fusion Fall yesterday, so that was interesting. So yeah, come in and hang out if you want. It's twitch.tv /paper_dawn. Yeah, that's how twitch.tv/paper_dawn. Go check it out. Go check me out. Follow me on there. I hang out and we talk, and it's chill. It's really chill place. So anyway, until next time, guys, thanks again. Here's for 2 years on doing this YouTube thing full-time, or real whatever. Not really full-time, but you know what I mean. Doing this YouTube thing more seriously for 2 years. Hopefully I can make it to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and a million. Yeah, we should plan for like 1 million. I can't wait to get to like the 12,000 anniversary, you know? That'll be fun. Anyway, bye-bye, friends. Bye.